Well, we're here to talk about HYROX. We're here to talk about why you're going to HYROX. But I do want to back up a little bit um, for folks that haven't heard you before on a podcast. We don't have to go all the way back to childhood, but we can go back to you ran college track, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And where did you go?
The University of Missouri.
You the Tigers?
Yeah, the Tigers.
Did you run year round? Did you do cross country and track?
No, I just did track. I ran the 400 and the 4x4, so I'm more of like a sprinter.
I just know that people like to run all year, so a lot of times they'll just kind of move over just for something to do,
Yeah.
especially in high school. But I assume in college it gets more specialized.
A lot of the cross country runners would do that, but I wasn't cross country.
Did you, when you were young, did you have like Olympic dreams at one point? You're like, I think I could do something with this.
Not really in track. I was good for like Arkansas, and then when I went to college, it was very obvious that was going to be about it. There's extremely fast girls.
So what else did you think? You said not for track.
Oh no, I just mean I not really anything Olympic.
And you did gymnastics when you were little, right?
Yeah, that was fun. We did gymnastics until like I was a freshman in high school.
So do you want to let people know, just so you can brag a little bit? Do you want to brag about best times and PBs and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Well, my best time in the 400, well, was actually on the relay. I got like 53.9. So that was pretty fun. That was like, I think my last race ever too. So it was just a really good finisher.
Oh, that was your last, like I'm out of college, my last year thing.
Yeah. And it was a great race.
Hang on a second. So, you want to talk about? I think we should start maybe last year's games a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, just general how it went and stuff.
Well, let's talk about running stuff since we're on that topic.
Okay.
When you heard there was a 5K, which we can get into the fact that it was not quite a 5K, but when you heard that, were you like excited? Were you knew like, oh, I'm one of the faster girls, or you knew like compared to Emily, like maybe you weren't as fast, or how did you think just when it was first announced?
Well, I do like running. I obviously, as we have just talked about, I'm more of like a sprinter, like the 400. So earlier,
But
like,
that still puts you ahead of a lot of CrossFit athletes.
yeah, for sure. Like for semis, I like won that 800-meter run worldwide. So like that gave me a lot of confidence in my running. But I still knew that like there were probably faster girls on a longer run. So when the 5K was announced, I was excited because I knew that I would be like more towards the top, but like I knew I wasn't gonna like win or anything. But I was excited.
So did you have did you have a pacing strategy, and did you stick to it?
Yeah.
Because it was 3 laps, right?
Yeah, those 3
Okay.
laps.
So what did you want to come out doing? Did you say like maybe I should just stay with the front girls, or should I just kind of run my pace and see what happens?
Yeah, so there was a big debate in my head between whether I wanted to stick with like my like run my own race and run the pace that I think that I'm capable of, or if I should push it and like take a risk and try to hang with the top girls and just see what happens. And I think I chose the safer option, which was to just look at my watch and hold the pace that I knew that I could hold. But I think it ended up being the right decision because I don't think I could have gone any faster.
Did you pass a lot of people on the last lap? Because that's how you kind of know if it worked, right?
That's kind of the thing. I didn't really have much left in the tank. I think like the last like 200 meters, Kelly Baker actually came and passed me. I was like, dang. So yeah, I think it was pretty much right on pace for what I was capable of.
Yeah, but a lot of times, even if you don't pass folks, even if you don't pass folks like by sprinting, just people just run out. People just run out of gas because they don't know how to pace.
Yeah, for sure. That's such a good point.
Like those are always my two goals in any race, whether it's a 5K or a marathon or I run ultras, is not get past in the second half and then pass people in the second half. Which are two very distinct things, right? Like, but those are always like, if someone comes by me, I'm like, motherfuck. You know what I mean?
You're like,
it's
I'm
the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it also is fun. Like if you kind of like, and I have had this happen where you kind of take someone else's will when you're past them and you kind of hear them go like, you're like, yeah, I saved a little bit. Good for me.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember. I think I maybe passed a couple girls on the last lap, but nothing crazy.
But yeah, it was your first games, right?
Yeah.
So was it for you? And I don't know were you with a different team last year?
No, I've been proven since I started.
So was it going in? What was it? Just, hey, it's your first games, just fucking have fun and we'll focus on your strengths, et cetera, or was it like, okay, I need to finish in the top 30, the top 15, I need to make this many days? Like, how did you approach it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really place expectations on myself. I didn't really want pressure. I wanted to be able to go and enjoy it and have fun, but also like I realized that it's not fun when you're not like doing well and doing your best. So of course, like you want to do your best. And yeah, I don't know. I think like it was just kind of my rookie year, so I wanted to make the most of it, but I also wanted to do as well as I possibly could. And of course, and then also there's like the whole cutting thing. So my goal going in was just to not get cut, and I ended up getting cut. Not the first round, but the second round of cuts. So don't want that to happen again.
And was there like, gee shucks, I gave it my best shot, or was there like massive tears on that cut?
Yeah, I mean, of course there were tears, and it was very.
You say, of course. Different people take, some people it takes a day to process, or
yeah,
weeks or months.
No, I mean, when you go to the games, like you definitely want to finish. It's very disappointing when you don't, but at the same time, I was like, it is my first games, and I did the best that I could. So,
was there? I mean, listen, you do your best, right? And then the field does what they do. Did you leave? Did you and your team think like, okay, I did do the best I could and I was just beat by better women? Or was it like, oh, wow, like I really underperformed in such and such a workout?
Yeah, there were definitely a couple workouts that I thought that I underperformed in. I think I could have definitely done better had I have just like maybe strategized the workout a little bit better beforehand.
So which one?
Well, for sure the rope climb one. I think I just like blew up really soon, and I didn't realize that was going to happen. Yeah, and then like the interval one really sticks out to me too, because I think I went out way too hot and I thought I'd be fine, and then I ended up it caught up with me pretty quick.
So is it that kind of thing that you're, again, like you and your coaches are just like, all right, well, we'll just never do that again? Or was it more, it just didn't, I don't know, like, because you this is your life, this is your year, right? And I assume even with these short workouts, there's just got to be some good strategy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we definitely took them and learned from them. I mean, I think the whole like interval workout, we talk about all the time about how I just need to get like better leg stamina, and it like taught us, like we learned a lot from it, and we're definitely working to improve on that. So I think that a lot came out of that workout, because it will never happen again because we train it all the time now.
So now you're like, yeah, it'll never happen again because now that I'm ready
Yeah,
for it. Listen, just wait
exactly.
long enough. They usually come around, right? Just wait long enough.
Yeah.
Just wait 5 games from now.
Uh,
So let's talk about the shitty news about this year and
yeah.
how soon did you find out? Did they tell everyone at once, or did you start to hear other people and then you were like, oh, I guess I'm going to cross my fingers until this is over? Can you kind of break down
Yeah.
when you heard? Go ahead.
So like they basically like I made it and then they were doing the video reviews. Well, okay, I guess I'll provide a little bit more detail. Like I made I was in 24th place out of 40 for quarterfinals before the video review. And the top 40 qualify for semifinals. So I was in a good spot. I honestly wasn't even worried. It's funny because like a lot of people were like, "Oh, like it's not final till the video review," and it's like, what's gonna happen? Like we made it. And then I'll never forget. Like I was cooking dinner, and my twin sister texted me, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I just got a penalty." And I was like freaking out with her. And then I opened my email and I have the same penalty, but my penalty is even worse than hers was. And so it just kind of kept flooding in. And then my coaches reached out and other athletes on our team had also gotten the same penalty. So like you can appeal the penalty. So I kind of like I still was like, there's no way this is actually going to go through. Like I submitted a great appeal. Like my box step ups were fine. There, like maybe there's a couple no reps in there, but not the amount that they gave me. So I was worried, but I wasn't like freaking out at this point because I was like, so many athletes have gotten the same penalty. There's literally no way that they're actually going to go through with this. And then like 2 days later, I was at dinner with my family and I get an email that my appeal was denied. And that's when I started kind of freaking out and I was like extremely upset. And then still didn't really think that like, I thought that CrossFit would just come out and be like, hey, we made a mistake. Like 48% of athletes got a penalty on the box step ups. So I thought like they would end up being like just fixing it.
Right. That's a problem with the rule.
Yeah, like it
If
was
half the
actually
fucking
crazy.
athletes, right, like then something's amiss. We probably should reassess this.
Exactly. So like I really hadn't gotten super upset at this point because I was like, it's not real. And then the leaderboard was finalized on Monday. They posted on Instagram, everything's final, and then I was like, wow, like this is real. And then 15 minutes later, I just got on HYROX's website and like I'm not gonna let this consume me. So I'm really thankful for HYROX and like getting to find a new opportunity. And I really do feel like everything happens for a reason. So there's a reason I'm not competing this year, I guess.
Yeah, and listen, people say that to us in the moment, and it doesn't mean we learn it right away. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I'm super glad you're coming to HYROX. Trust me, I'm stoked. But it's like if you break up with someone and someone says like you'll find someone better. It's like that's not really what I want to hear right now. Like I just want to kind of sit with it. And so, we have so many stories in the world and we don't know the chapter that's written yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Katrin won the games twice, then missed the games like 2 or 3 years, right? Before she finally made her way back to the podium. And again, there's so many great stories like that in and out of, this sport. But yeah, it's like we don't know what's around the corner. We don't know what lesson is left for you, Sydney, like whether it's at HYROX or whether it's next year's games. But it's cool. I love that you just went to it. So if you just went to it that fast, you must have at least been thinking about it a little bit before, right?
Yeah. Well, I kind of like when all of this was happening, I just kind of like was like, I'm going to have a plan B for if this goes south. And so I kind of knew what I wanted to do. But yeah, HYROX has been on my radar for a little bit. I've been so like laser focused on CrossFit that I didn't actually think that like the time would come anytime soon that I would give it a try. So now I am.
So what have you done to prepare specifically? And we're going to talk more after. I just thought we'd jump on and like get to know you a little bit, and then we'll definitely talk when you're done. Probably there even, because I'm going to be there.
Oh,
but
cool. Okay.
yeah, I'm excited. I mean, this Last Chance Qualifier is new this year. They did the first one a couple weeks ago, as you probably heard, and it kind of ended up being even more exciting than we thought. Like, we heard about it, there's these majors, and everyone's like, wow, the majors, and there's money. And then the Last Chance Qualifiers rolled around. People are like, actually, this is like even more exciting, because it's like do or die for a lot of these athletes that, this is their CrossFit Games, right? They're working all year to make it. So anyway, that's why I'll be in Anaheim. It's very exciting. But what have you done in the short time to prepare?
Yeah, I mean, I've only had like 2.5 weeks, but I have honestly still been doing a lot of CrossFit based workouts. We may just throw in some of the HYROX movements instead. Like the other day, Tia had a workout and it had like a lot of like running and other CrossFit movements, but she had like box step overs, and I was like, I'm going to do burpee broad jumps instead of the box step overs, just kind of more focused on the HYROX movements. And then I've also added in a bit more running, not like too much, just because I don't want to increase my volume like all of a sudden and then have extremely tired legs or like get injured or something. So we're definitely being smart, like we're approaching it well, but just easing into a little bit more running volume.
How deep into the data have you gone? Because this is a repeatable workout,
Yeah.
we have a lot of data. Now, you may or may not have heard that some of the courses are vastly different in the terms of how the run layout is, and we used to have heavier sleds, but overall they've kind of evened out now. But you can look and you can see what the top girls are running their laps in. Like, I don't know if you've gone that deep.
I really actually haven't. I've looked up, I watched the world champs from last year. That's really all I've done. I haven't even looked up like research or anything. I don't know. I might end up doing that. I need to really sit down and decide like my pacing and stuff, but I just don't know if I just need to make sure that I'm running my own race and doing what I'm capable of and not looking at all these other numbers that like and tried to do what the best girls in the world are doing when I've never even done it before. So I don't know that I'll actually get that much into the data, just kind of focusing on what I'm capable of doing because I have no idea.
Yes, and it varies. Some people love to know that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's always about running one's own race. I will tell you what. Well, let me ask you: would you like one free piece of advice?
Yeah, I would love
You
advice.
you can't win the race in the first 3 stations, but you can absolutely lose it.
Oh, because you can go out too hot.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they say you can't win a marathon in the first 2 miles, but you can lose it.
Uh-huh.
So
I have definitely heard that you have to be very smart about the pacing in the beginning.
Especially that first run, which is usually a little short, and the ski, which everyone's going to do about the same anyway, right? The ski is the ski, and they're going to be in and out in X amount of time. And so you watch a lot of times, you'll see people come into the ski first, second, or third, and you will literally never see them again. It happens. People either.
Yeah, I'm actually a little nervous about that first run because I just know everyone's going to take off.
They will. But even if you do go a little, and listen, we all do. Every single human, whether it's their first 5K or their 100th, we all go out too fast. So if you do on the first run, the first lap of the first run, it's okay. But if you come out of the ski last, do not then freak out and try to cut. You know what I mean? Because it is definitely where the second half of the race really matters.
I don't know. That's something else I need to do is memorize the order.
Well, they do have big numbers, okay? 1, 2, 3, but you do get race brain, so definitely walk around a little. You guys aren't racing until the afternoon. Did you get that email yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you guys are racing later in the day, it looks like. So during the day, you can walk around, you can see where stuff is. But yeah, you can get penalized if you go out the in or in the out. But it's not that. But it's not that. It's usually laid out in a way that kind of works. All right, so yeah, so the burpee broad jumps, I've seen people get past. I've seen people get past on the lunges, and then the wall balls. If you can go unbroken, people get past there. I don't know how your wall balls are.
Gosh, I don't know. At first I thought I could go unbroken, but I don't think so.
You don't have to. I just know that there's people that have come in third or fourth, and then end up finishing first or second because most people break at least once and usually twice or three times.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, just don't kill yourself in the first 3 stations. That's my big advice for you from a very much person that's just watched a lot of this.
That's no.
So yeah. Well, listen, I think we can leave it there, and I definitely want to talk to you after the race, and we'll see how it went. And you'll either say that went amazing, I love it, or that was horrible, I'll never do it again.
Yeah. I hope it's this one, but guess we'll find out